All right, so get this.
You okay?
We're diving into some research you sent our way about Pixel Player.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Have you ever, imagined being able to
Uh-huh.
isolate the sound of, like, a single violin
Yeah.
in a whole orchestra just by looking at a video?
Yeah.
That's essentially what this AI does.
It's pretty remarkable stuff.
Yeah, it kind of blurs the lines between what we see and what we hear.
We're talking about an AI that doesn't just process audio and video separately,
Hmm.
like most systems do, but actually analyzes them together to understand the relationship between the two.
So instead of just seeing a guitar
Right.
and hearing its sound,
Hmm.
Pixel Player's learning to actually
Yeah.
connect those two sets. It's kind
Yeah.
of like how our brains do.
Like how our brains do exactly.
Yeah.
And it's trained on this massive data set of YouTube video
Okay.
called the music data set,
Hmm.
which has all sorts of solo and duet musical performances across 11 different instruments,
Wow.
from acoustic guitar to cello, even a tuba.
So they really threw the kitchen sink at it in terms of instruments.
Yeah,
And it's learning from real-world videos,
real-world videos.
not just some pristine studio recordings.
Right, and that's key because real-world scenarios
Yeah.
are messy.
Right.
There's background noise, multiple sound sources, and that kind of complexity is essential for the AI
Yeah.
to generalize its learning and function in the real world.
Okay, so I'm looking at figure 1 from the paper you sent.
Yeah.
It shows someone playing a guitar and a xylophone.
Uh-huh.
I'm guessing this is where it gets really interesting.
It does. So Pixel Player can actually isolate the sound of the guitar and the xylophone just from that video.
Okay.
But get this, it can even pinpoint the volume of each pixel, essentially letting you see the sound.
Oh, wow.
Think about the implications for audio editing or sound mixing.
Hold on, so you're telling me I could theoretically mute the guitar just by clicking on it in the video?
You got it.
Whoa.
You could even adjust the volume of specific parts of the instrument. Since the AI understands which pixels are responsible for which sound,
That's wild.
it's like having a sonic magnifying glass.
That's mind-blowing.
Yeah.
But how on earth does this thing actually learn to do all of this?
Yeah.
Is someone painstakingly labeling each sound in the videos for the AI?
That's the beauty of it. No labeling is needed.
Okay.
This is deep learning in action.
Right.
By analyzing a massive amount of data, Pixel Player learns to predict which visual features
Yeah.
correlate with specific sounds. It's figuring out these connections all on its own.
Okay, let's unpack this a little further for our listener.
Okay.
The research paper mentions something called spectrogram masking.
Yes.
Is that how it separates the sounds?
It is. It's a
Well,
pretty sophisticated process, but imagine trying to separate the colors of a rainbow based on their wavelengths. That's kind of what Pixel Player does, except with sound.
Okay.
It separates different sound frequencies based on their visual cues.
So it's looking at how the visuals change over time.
Exactly.
And using that information to tease apart the different sounds.
Exactly.
And to ensure it really works, the researchers went beyond typical metrics
Yeah.
and did subjective listening tests with humans.
Right.
So this means they had people actually listen
Uh-huh.
to the separated sounds
Yeah.
to confirm they were perceptually accurate
Exactly.
and not just some robotic mess.
Yeah, you can't just rely on the numbers all the time.
Makes sense. Numbers can only tell you so much, especially when it comes to something subjective like sound.
Exact.
So it passes the human ear test.
It absolutely does. And what really blew my mind
Yeah.
were the heat maps they included in the paper.
Okay.
I think one of the best visualizations is figure 7.
Okay. I have that figure pulled up. It looks like it's showing how Pixel Player actually pinpoints the location
Uh-huh.
of sounds within the image.
Yes.
It's literally seeing where the sounds are coming from.
Yeah, that's what's so fascinating about it.
Yeah.
It's not just separating instruments, it's associating them with their physical location within the image.
And looking at figure 8, it can even group similar sounds together.
Yeah.
And distinguish between different instruments and background noise, all within a single image.
All within a single image. That's right.
It's almost like it's building its own little sonic map of the world.
That's a great way to put it.
And it goes even deeper than that.
Yeah.
When you look at figure 10,
Uh-huh.
you can see that specific channels in the neural network
Yeah.
actually seem to specialize in recognizing certain instruments.
Yeah, different parts of the AI are developing their own ear for specific instruments.
Yeah.
One channel might be attuned to violins, another to guitars. It's incredible how this deep learning process
Yeah.
leads to such specialized knowledge within the AI.
It really does show the power of this approach.
It does.
And while Pixel Player was trained on music, the principles behind it could have far-reaching applications in all sorts
Absolutely.
of real-world scenarios.
That's where it gets really exciting.
This is where it gets really exciting. So we've seen it work its magic on music.
Yeah.
But what about other areas?
Yeah.
Could this technology be applied beyond the realm of musical instruments?
Absolutely. Think about security cameras that could not only detect a gunshot, but pinpoint the exact location where it originated. Or imagine video editing software that lets you adjust the volume of specific objects.
Wow.
Within the video frame, the possibilities are vast.
It's like giving human-like perception to machines,
Exactly.
allowing them to understand the world in a whole new way.
Think about self-driving cars.
Yeah.
Imagine if they could not only see their surroundings, but also analyze the soundscape.
Wow.
To gain a more comprehensive understanding of what's happening around them, it could revolutionize how autonomous vehicles navigate complex environments.
Starting to feel like we're on the verge of something truly transformative.
We are.
A shift in how machines perceive and interact with the world.
But like any powerful technology, it's crucial to consider the potential implications,
Right.
both positive and positive. Well, we need to be mindful, and that's something we'll definitely delve into further as we continue this deep dive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is pretty incredible to think about, like, the potential impact.
Yeah.
But also, to your point, the potential downsides.
Right.
Before we get into that, what are some other areas where you see Pixel Player making a real difference?
Well, the potential for accessibility immediately comes to mind.
Okay.
Imagine a world where individuals with hearing impairments could essentially see the soundscape around them. It could revolutionize their ability to navigate busy environments.
That's a fantastic application.
Yeah.
I hadn't even considered that angle.
Yeah.
It could help people feel safer and more confident in situations that are currently challenging for them.
Absolutely. And think about how we experience media.
Okay.
Imagine being able to personalize the audio mix of a movie,
Okay.
perhaps lowering the background music or boosting the dialogue volume, or even isolating the sound
Yeah.
of a particular instrument in a concert recording.
It's like having a personalized sound mixer for everything you watch and listen to.
Exactly.
That opens up so many creative possibilities for both content creators and consumers.
It really does. Content creation in general could be completely transformed.
Right.
Imagine easily removing unwanted sounds from a video recording or enhancing specific sounds without needing complex audio editing software.
That would be a game changer, especially for independent creators who might not have access to expensive audio equipment
Absolutely.
or
Right.
software.
And think about the applications for scientific research. Imagine researchers studying a complex ecosystem, being able to isolate and analyze the sounds of individual animals, even in a dense rainforest.
So we could unlock a whole new level of understanding of the natural world just by being able to hear it
Exactly.
in a more focused way.
Yeah.
It's incredible to think about.
It really highlights how Pixel Player isn't just about separating sounds, it's about deepening our understanding of the relationship between what we see and what we hear.
This has all been so fascinating, but I'm also curious about the limitations. Is this technology perfect?
Well, like any technology, it does have its limitations.
Okay.
As we mentioned, Pixel Player was trained primarily on music,
Yeah.
which means it might need more specialized training to handle the complexities of human speech
Right.
or the nuances of environmental sounds.
So it's really good at what it's trained to do.
Yeah.
But it might not be a one-size-fits-all solution for every sound separation challenge.
Exactly. And even within the realm of music,
Yeah.
there are challenges. Imagine trying to separate the sound of a violin from a viola. They are visually similar and produce very similar sounds, so the AI might struggle to distinguish between them.
That makes sense. Or think about trying to separate the sound of a grand piano from an upright piano. The visual differences are subtle, but the sound is quite distinct to a trained ear. I wonder how Pixel Player would handle those kinds of nuances.
And there's the computational aspect. To consider analyzing both video and audio simultaneously requires a lot of processing power right now. It's not something you could easily run on a typical smartphone or laptop.
But I imagine as technology continues to advance, that'll become less of a barrier. We've seen that pattern with so many other AI applications.
Right.
What was once limited to powerful research labs is now accessible to anyone with a smartphone.
That's a great point. So where do we go from here?
Yeah, what's next?
What are the next steps for Pixel Player?
I'm already feeling like this is just the tip of the iceberg in terms of what's possible.
The research team is exploring ways to expand Pixel Player's capabilities beyond music.
Okay.
Imagine training it on a massive data set of everyday sounds, conversations in a cafe, the bustle of city streets, the sounds of nature.
It could create a sonic map of the world,
Yeah.
capturing not only the visual landscape, but the soundscape as well. I'm getting chills just thinking about the possibilities.
That's a beautiful way to put it. Think about the potential for creating truly immersive virtual environments. Ones that aren't just visually stunning, but also sonically accurate and responsive to our actions.
It would be a complete game changer for gaming virtual reality,
Yeah.
even online communication.
Uh-huh.
We could have virtual meetings where we feel like we're truly present in the same room,
Right.
experiencing not only the visuals, but also the subtle sounds of the environment.
We're truly on the cusp of a new era, one where the lines between the physical and digital worlds are becoming increasingly blurred.
Yeah.
And Pixel Player is a powerful example of how AI is playing a crucial role in shaping this future.
It's amazing to think how far we've come in just a few short years.
It is.
From basic speech recognition to AI that can understand the complex relationship between sight and sound.
It speaks volumes about human ingenuity and the incredible potential of AI when used to augment our understanding of the world.
Yeah, that brings us to something you mentioned earlier, this idea of being mindful of the implications
Yeah.
of a technology as powerful as this.
Right.
Before we move on to part 3, is there anything else you want to add on that?
Yeah. It's a good point to bring up. I mean, it's exciting to explore all these possibilities.
Yeah.
But we also need to be aware of how this technology could be used in ways that we haven't even anticipated.
Right, so you're opening a door to a whole new room, and we don't quite know what's inside yet.
Exactly. And we have a responsibility, I think, to guide the development and application of AI in a way that benefits humanity. It's a conversation we need to have as a society, and
Yeah, for sure.
the sooner the better.
Absolutely. But for now, I want to shift gears a bit
Okay.
and talk about something you mentioned earlier. You said there's a website
Yes.
where our listener can actually experiment with Pixel Player.
Yes, there is. It's a fantastic resource. It really brings the technology to life.
Okay.
And lets you experience it firsthand. You can see the heat maps, isolate different sounds, and really get a feel for how it works.
That's awesome. I always find it so much more engaging to actually interact with the technology
Yeah.
rather than just reading about it.
It makes it tangible and helps you grasp the concepts in a more concrete way.
Yeah.
You can literally click on different objects in a video
Wow.
and hear the sounds that they produce. It's pretty amazing.
So for our listener, we encourage you to check out the Pixel Player website.
Yeah,
It's a glimpse into the future
it is.
of how we might interact with the world around us.
Yeah, and it's a lot of fun to play with.
And it's a lot of fun to play with, so.
There's a whole universe of possibilities out there waiting to be unlocked.
It really does feel that way.
Yeah, the sound of pixels is just the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And who knows what amazing applications we'll discover next. It's an exciting time to be exploring the intersection of AI and human perception.
It certainly is. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us. Until next time.